Most people don't start their podcast because they feel they need a better mic, they need better lighting, and they need things to be perfect. But I'm going to tell you something. It's none of those things. Welcome to the Drew Cost Network. I'm Drew Cost, your host, and we're going to talk about why you aren't starting your podcast. If you're watching this, you haven't started it, it's sitting in the Google Docs, it's sitting in that notebook. You've been telling everybody when you get all the stuff you're going to do it. Or maybe you're someone who started and you felt it was too much to handle. We're going to help you out today. So I have three things that we're going to talk about to help you actually get from not having a podcast to having a podcast. Or if you have one and you put it on the shelf, you put it on the back burner, taking it off the shelf and putting it back where people can hear your message. You have solutions, you have ideas, you have stories that people can benefit from. So the first thing is comparing yourself to other people. Now, I know for a fact if you have social media, comparison can be a huge problem. Watching what someone else has in your industry that you don't have yet. Maybe they have better mic, maybe they have better uh, content room, maybe they have a larger audience. When you start comparing yourself to them, you stop serving the people who are assigned to you. So let's just say you are a financial coach or a financial advisor. If you're comparing yourself to maybe Earn Your Leisure, who has a humongous crowd, you might think that your voice doesn't matter. You might think I shouldn't even be saying anything because they're touching so many people. But you'd be amazed how many people in your town, in your church, in your neighborhood, in your country club don't even know who those people are. So what you can be doing is robbing yourself of opportunities to serve people who are around you and even people who are in the same towns that they are in. The Bible talks about comparison being the thief of joy. That is something that I've seen when working with people who want a podcast is when you start talking to them, you realize it's not so much the other stuff because you can build the equipment as you go. You can have somebody actually just go to their studio and record it. It's more so that mindset of they already are farther than me. They have more than me. So I'm not even going to do it. I want to encourage you that if you stop comparing yourselves to them and start realizing that, hey, I have a voice that needs to be heard. I have a message that can help people. I have solutions that can get people out of pain or what we would call hell's island to heaven's island. Here's a question I want to ask you. Write down the 5 people you've been comparing yourselves to, and then I want you to cross them off. They're not your competition. They're not your holdup. It's you, and you can get over it by actually making the steps. Number 2, this one can be very, very subtle, but it's like a slow a slow cooker. You don't realize it's doing something until it's over. There's a slow cooker versus an air fryer. An air fryer, you put something in for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you can hear it. It's doing its job. It's over. A slow cooker is like, is it even working? It's perfectionism, but it's really masked in procrastination. This is where you get somebody like, if I had the perfect mic, I would just do a podcast. I remember a story where I I wanted to start podcasting and I had hit up a lot of people and they would not give me any answers. But I want to shout out Henry. Henry gave me some cool answers to start an audio podcast, but I wanted to start a video. So I didn't have a mic, I didn't have a studio. I didn't know anything about podcasting at all. I just knew it looks like a video. I have a computer, and if not the computer, I have a phone. So what I did was just my wife had bought me this mic, a $40 mic for Valentine's Day. She had no idea I was thinking about podcasting and things of that nature, but for some reason she bought me the mic. And she bought me the mic and I let it sit for a while. And one day I was like, just pick up the mic and try it. And if it goes bad, maybe ask Google or YouTube what you can do. But at first I kept procrastinating it. I kept saying, once I get all the answers, I'll go ahead and launch my podcast. Or once I get all the cool graphics, I'll go ahead and launch my podcast. And then I kept saying, once I actually get a studio, I'll go ahead and launch my podcast, until one day I realized it was months since I had touched that mic. It was months, and I kept saying, I'll do it when it gets perfect. And then one day it just hit me like a brick. You are procrastinating. You are waiting for a perfect opportunity. And as you know, with everything, perfect opportunities do not exist. What is the perfect opportunity you're waiting for when you know you should just go ahead and just launch this thing? You should get it started. You should put your feet forward. So I took that mic and I started podcasting. And at first, it was just like, this is so weird because I'm talking to my computer. I didn't have a webcam, talking to my computer. No one's talking back, and I'm making sure I'm on subject. And after a while, you get better and you learn things. Perfectionism is usually masked. It's usually masked, and I just need this one thing to start. Here's a bar for you guys. If you have a phone, you can create a podcast. I also did this at first. I would be sitting in my car during like breaks, and I would use voice notes, and I would use those same voice notes to actually go ahead and use as my podcast. And it worked. They were like 3 minutes long, 5 minutes long. What you need to realize is that sometimes the muscle won't work until you work the muscle. If you were in a fitness gym, you cannot get stronger without lifting weights. It's impossible. No matter how much treadmill you do, how much running work you do, and I'm not knocking that, you cannot get stronger unless you lift weights. And until you go to the weight section and lift those weights, your body's going to look the same. You're going to perform the same way. So go to the section. So number one was comparing. Number two was perfectionism. My question for you there is, what are you really waiting for to start? Is it equipment? Is it like being tech savvy? Or is it you giving yourself an out when you know you're supposed to be doing this? I'm not talking to people who have like a cute idea. Like, like, hey, God's been telling me I should do this, or pressing on me I should do this. My brand needs this. My brand does not have consistent content, and it could come through podcasting, but I'm waiting on perfection. I'm waiting to be perfect. Think about that, write it down. And then the last one, this one is one that I hear often. It's having the gear, but being tech savvy, right? There are a lot of tools now, if you're not tech savvy, that could help you out. You got things like Descript, you got things like Riverside, you got things like StreamYard. You have tons of things like that, but I would honestly say you can just outsource that stuff. If you have a computer and you can record, you can outsource the rest. We have a therapist that we work with, and all they do is they sit in front of their computer twice a month, I think for about 15 minutes. So that's about a half an hour of work. They record, they send it to us, we edit it, we put the titles on, we make sure they're SEO so that they can be search hint. If you are putting your podcast on YouTube, the title does matter. You can make a cute title, or you can make a title that people are searching. It's a search engine. So if they're not typing in this question, they're probably not going to find your podcast unless you're like a million subscribers and things like that. Back to what we were talking about. So they told us when they contacted us is, I don't want to learn how to upload a video on YouTube. I don't want to learn how to upload a video on Spotify. I don't want to write the show notes. I don't want to learn editing. I just want to sit, record, and that's it. And you know what happened? We started their podcast. They sit twice a month, 15 minutes each time. They send us the recording. We edit it. We do all the work. So if you don't want to learn tech, that's the easy way. Just outsource it. And what I found out, honestly, is the people who usually outsource it usually stay the longest. They do it longer because they're not thinking about all of these barriers and walls that could limit them. They're only thinking about, hey, I'm going to just press record. I'm going to send this link, and they're going to do the rest. We even do their scheduling. So there's no excuse. If you want to learn how to do it, yeah, you can go and find tools and things of that nature. If you want to get gear, yes, you can get a Shure mic, you can get a Rode mic, there's so many options. But what I find out is When people have tons of options with this stuff, they usually don't do anything. So if you're trying to get a mic, leave a comment. I'll drop some options for you. If you're trying to get some gear or some software, I'll leave a comment. But I would honestly say outsource it. Outsource it. Why does outsourcing work so much? You take care of the comparing problem because all you're doing is staying in your zone of genius, which is talking about what you do best. You're talking about your message, your solutions, your stories that you've been through to help people see themselves as an overcomer. So you're staying in your zone of genius. This person is a therapist. We do not do therapy, but we do know how does this person need to show up online so that they A, get more therapy or coaching clients, but B, so they're not doing therapy on the podcast. They're giving information and meat to help the audience, but they're not doing their practice so that they don't get in trouble. Number two, it stops them from procrastinating because the number one thing we have is a schedule. They have to send us their video by every Friday, twice a month. That schedule keeps them accountable, and they know once I send this by Tuesday, my show is up, it's clean, it's edited, it's professional. All I have to do is do my part. And then number three, it saves them tons of money and time from all the software and all the editing, the learning curve and all the curve and all of that stuff. Someone once said, why would someone outsource it when they can just pay the software for themselves and learn it? Yes, you can do that. What I found out that people who are really serious, they don't want to get out of their zone of genius. Editing takes way more time than you think. Software starts to add up because you start getting editing software for video, for audio. The stuff starts to add up, but mainly the learning curve of learning all of this stuff while trying to stay in your zone of genius. I can't talk right now. While you're trying to stay in your zone of genius of talking about what you do and what you saw for people. You can do it, but it's like you're going to two different things. And most people who are really, really wise know if I stay in my zone of genius, I can make more money, I can make more impact, and I don't have to be burnt out trying to learn something that I don't have a desire to learn. If you don't love editing, trying to learn it just for the sake of learning will rock you. I remember learning Final Cut Pro. I almost threw my computer at the wall. But let's wrap up. Those are the three reasons why people usually don't start a podcast or they give up. Here's my answer for you guys. Contact us. We'll help you out. You'll have a strategy. We'll help you outline your first 4 episodes, and we'll do the editing for you so you have a professional, crisp-looking podcast going out to the world. And cool thing is you can actually use some clips for your social media. If you use TikTok or Instagram, YouTube Shorts, emails, LinkedIn, you get to use that stuff in there. So now you have like a content distribution center at your hand without you spending hours and hours doing that stuff. Let's talk. Be great, guys. I'm out of here.